Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Fauci, her ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
All right. On that note, where we left off, we left off with Nation Chen being smashed to shit,
Right.
Yep.
basically being broke. So, um, let's see here. Gotta remember where the hell. Where did I leave you guys? Doof, 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 doof. Yes. Our makeshift operating room. That's where we originally were at. So,
Makeshift operating room with Nathan Chen, myself, and
yes,
Ravanna and Q.
you.
Oop.
So, at this point in time, you know, Q looks at Ravanna, and Ravanna looks back at Q, and they nod their head and said, do you think that, are you ready? You think this is going to work? Ravanna's like, yes, this is going to work. She's like, go ahead, switch him back on. And she switches Nathan Chen back on, and you see the dogs, you know, the light comes back into his eyes, and his ears tweak and perk and adjust, and it turns, turns and looks, turns its head, looks around the room, and then it stands up on its own legs and stretches. And at this point in time, Ravanna goes, well, now that you own a dog, you might want to imprint yourself, with the dog. And Ravanna's asking you, Jaeya.
So, imprint, you mean like imprint him with my blood? Like a blood
Yeah,
oath?
kind of. You give him a DNA sample, and he will be assigned to you.
Uh,
Like basically, would be your dog.
okay, I do that.
once you do that, the dog, he jumps down off the table and basically comes over and sits right next to you. Just parks his butt. Um, when he does so, I mean, he's like this dog is not a normal sized dog. It is roughly the size of, I mean, it's expanded. It's huge. It's roughly the size of a refrigerator with legs. It's the best way I can put it. Um,
I mean,
you're like,
greyhounds technically are big dogs.
yes, but this one is like a greyhound on steroids because basically
A
what they
torpedo
did was,
fuselage with legs.
yes, um, that's how they created these things, the original ones.
Hmm.
So now you and Ravenna are just kind of talking back and forth about, upkeep, um, you know, making sure that all of his, that he doesn't leak any oil here and there. He can lose so much oil, but it can still, um, still function, but at a certain point he will stop functioning well.
Good,
Bro.
good thing I have a
Well,
bunch of spare robot parts.
yes, you do have a bunch of spare robot parts. You also kind of talk back and forth about armor plating. If you come across any heavy robots, you can like strip their armor plating and stuff like that out, and he would cease to function as much as a race dog, but it would definitely help him in the ways of making him a little bit more robust.
Okay.
So right now he is basically back to his racing fit form once again, with a little bit of an extra added boost. So basically Ravenna is like telling you that he can. If you took him out onto the racetrack right now, he'd probably devastate anything that's out on the racetrack. Like this thing would be illegal to race in some places. So like, especially if they find out that you boosted the dog, that it's you know they would definitely, if you raced a dog, you'd win everybody's money, but it wouldn't take long for them to figure out that you boosted the dog, and they'd be like hunting your head. They'd like, you stole money from us, so that type of shit.
Yeah, no. Right now, I think his racing days are kind of
Yeah.
either at a pause or over.
uh, okay.
He's already been
And
through
Q,
so much, especially since he got the crap beaten out of him. Like, we'll give him a rest.
so Q's just kind of like, wow, you kind of really missed your calling, Ravenna. You could have like been a mechanic sitting the sidelines on the dog track, and
Nirvana scoffs at that.
Huh.
and she's like, and yeah, she kind of laughs at it, and she's like, well, my she's like, well, learning by trade of spy work and stuff like that, and doing, there on Vegas, spying on everybody, and she goes, it would have been a nice, easier handle than to be, playing as a prostitute, but it definitely takes and puts it in a niche sense. And basically, Q looks at Ravana, and Ravana kind of like looks back and forth at Q. There's a little bit of like a non-discussed conversation. You know that there's like some communication back and forth between the two of them that you know Jaeya, you're not part of.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ravana is like goes back to Jaeya. It's like, listen, that with the discovery of these abilities and stuff like that, uh, everybody wanted a piece of the action. She goes, not just Romulans, or not just Emily Scott and her gang, or Starfleet. The Romulans wanted to know how devastating these powers could actually be as well. She goes, my powers was the. She goes, I could slow down time. She goes, originally I was able to stop time altogether and do whatever I needed to do, and then start time once again. but only for brief seconds. But with training with Q and uh, Commander Cottrell, I was able to extend those times all the way up until Emily Scott caught me.
Oh.
I thought Ravana had the fire before. Or who was it that could light a whole room on fire?
Yeah, basically turn a room into an incinerator.
That was Cantrell.
Ah,
Yeah, Cantrell could light a room on fire. Ravana could basically stop time, do whatever she needed to do, and then time would start up again. You know, Q, you're just learning the extent of or she's like your abilities. You've mastered the extent of your abilities. She's like, yes, I can basically manipulate or be able to copy anybody else's abilities. They just have to do it in front of me.
good thing she's on our side then.
Yeah, seriously.
Hmm
Yeah.
And she's like, and some abilities I don't even have to, some of the things I can do, I don't even have to be. It's not necessarily an ability. She's like, for instance, she's like, you know, um, the abilities on, uh, the abilities that the Qatari were able to basically bite a human being or bite a person in half. I could duplicate that. All I had to do was see them do it once. When they did, when the one attacked, Stanley, she goes, as soon as I seen them do it, I knew I could be able to do it too. She's like, I just know how to do it. And she's like, the other thing is, learning how to teleport. She's like, I just think it and I'm there. I can move around the room faster than anybody else. And then Q looks at Ravana and asks her, it's like, well, she goes, how did you get caught anyway? And she's like, Ravana turns and she points at Nathan Chen. And she's like, she goes, believe it or not, she says, it's because of that dog.
Hmm.
And she goes, let me tell you the story how it unfolded. She goes, I was actually there that day when Nathan Chen got beat up. She goes, I knew there was a commotion going on over in the bar, but I wasn't privy to seeing all the action. I just got to see the aftermath. And so here we have Ravana. She's over here in the corner. She is kind of keeping an eye on this guy right here, Nix.
Isn't that the one you had Maria play and like bet the money on Nathan Chen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's been watching him been watching him his interactions with Cyrano Jones and stuff like that. The big thing was she was watching Cyrano Jones, but she was looking for an end to get closer to Cyrano Jones. And she watched Nick's interactions with Cyrano Jones, and now that he's upset, and then seeing Cyrano Jones get nabbed by these clowns, those two clowns. What is Derek and Bruce. So she sees basically Bruce take Cyrano Jones and throw him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and walk out of the bar with him. Derek he looks at Nathan Chen for a hot minute. Oh crap!
Facequake.
Space quake.
Oh no.
Derek ended up underneath. There we
Meh.
go. He kicks Nathan Chen one more time before he ends up taking off after Bruce. And we go back over here. So like I said, then Rivana is like kind of keeping tabs on Nyx as he's like going through the crowd. And she sees Nyx over there, over above Nathan Chen, just kind of like poking around at the dog.
Oh, so he's like trying to steal the dog.
Yes. So she comes over, or just kind of like gets close to Nathan Chen, or Nyx and Nathan Chen. She's like, if you fix that thing up, you might be onto something. And Nyx is like, because of this stupid dog, I've lost all my money.
I thought he won. Or
Or
did he
no,
bet? He bet again, and
Nathan Chen won.
I was about to say
Nathan Chen.
Yeah, he bet all his money. Unless he bet again on the second race, which Nathan Chen lost miserably.
Right.
Because
Nathan
all the
Chen
money
lost.
went to that character that I played for that night.
Right. And he ended up winning all of it, but then he turned around and bet again. He went and he bet again and lost all of his money. And
And
then
that's why casinos always win.
that's why they always win.
Yep.
So Ravenna goes, well, like I said, you can fix him up and make your money back. You know, she's like, I don't think that guy is coming back for that dog anytime soon. And looks at Ravenna and is like, he goes, I don't count, I wouldn't count Cyrano Jones out, but he goes, I don't like he goes, but I doubt he's coming back this time either. And Ravenna like comes over closer to Dix and is like, well, who did he who did he go with? Who took him? Who was those guys? And he goes, don't you know that's Chevro? Those are the new Chevro bot lackeys. It's like they're taking over this place. He goes, New Vegas is going to get a new face all over again. He goes, thanks to Emily Scott. And Ravenna's like, she's like, how do I meet that Ravenna? Or she's like, how do I get to talk to Emily Scott? I need to meet her. And at this point in time, another behemoth of an Orion named Liquor steps up behind Ravenna and goes, listen, if you want to meet Emily Scott, he's like, I will happily oblige you. So I'm going to. So I could show you guys this character sheet. I think you guys can see it. Pretty sure you guys can see it.
Who is it?
Laker, can you see him?
Uh,
No. All I see is you clicking somewhere.
Okay.
It's invisible.
yeah, no, I don't see it.
Okay, hold on. How
Thanks
about
for
now?
time.
Yep.
Now you see him.
Nope.
Right at the top, right below Emily. Oh,
I see it
I
now,
get a
yeah.
blank page.
Yeah, I just get a blank page, but I see it.
Okay.
I don't have a blank page. I still have where we had the race.
Okay.
You're still on the race?
Yeah, that's what I have up.
We're supposed to be at the bar right now. All right. What would that be? Strength?
Yeah, with the strength check or like a unarmed strike.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you grab her from behind. Let's see here. Of course, her sheet's got to collapse in on it. Yeah, she is stuck, but she's thrashing about pretty good, and quite possibly gonna make some noise.
So. Okay.
So yeah, she's still stuck. She can't go anywhere. She could probably pull her disruptor out. Yeah, she's gonna pull her disruptor out and shoot. Nope, she doesn't even have that. Scratch that. She does
Yeah.
not have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, she could have a phaser of some sort at this point, but
Right. But
She could
no, she
probably.
does not have
I would
that.
assume she had her dagger or something.
Yeah.
she doesn't have a dagger.
Oh, well, shit.
I mean, we never gave her a dagger, so.
Well,
Right.
it sounds like we need to get her a dagger.
Um.
Because it's not like she's augmented yet. She can't just rip off her leg and beat people with it.
Right. She doesn't have the strength either. So she's gonna do this. She's going to uh she's gonna hit slow. She's casting slow. Why is it Narek? Why are we getting two Nareks? Stop it. I want her. Thank you. So there, that's what she has done so far. Liqueur, it's up to you.
Uh, how is Narek holding Ravana?
He's like basically came up behind her, like through, I don't know, like an arm up underneath her neck or whatever.
So like
Kind of like,
the only thing I can probably do is punch her and try and knock her out.
okay.
Yeah, man. I miss and hit the table.
Ah,
You could almost miss and hit it. Almost. If you would have crit failed, I would have said, "Oh nope, you hit Derek instead."
I kind of would have hoped I did. Kind of. This dude's strength is ass.
oh, that sucks.
Yes. Um. So now, once again, it's Ravenna's turn. She's gonna try to do another. Strength test. Try to break away from your 19 there. Unless, yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check on yours as well. See if you can. Uh,
She kicks you.
she kicked you in the nuts.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So yeah, she is free now. She pops out
Is there a reason why there's two Ravanas on the turn order?
because she casts slow.
Yeah.
Oh, slow. Okay.
When you cast slow, it means that she gets an advantage on, or she gets to do uh 2 turns while everybody else does one. So it's like basically she can pick another, and she gets like an extra turn. Everybody's got to wait.
Okay.
Um, I am. She's gonna run a roll a stun grenade between the two of you.
That's the second nat 20. You know what? I'm
20.
drinking.
God, I'm drinking on that one.
Drink, 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 drink.
I'm
Get,
drinking.
get that Dave and Buster shot glass out.
All right. I'm trying. Why? All right. Here we go.
All
Dave and
right, there you
Buster.
go. Dave and Buster's. There you go.
Action. So, Licor, it's your turn, I do believe.
Is it? So-
Or
Whoop, hello.
yeah, you're stunned
Oh, am I stunned? So, am I like prone or anything?
for 1 turn.
So I can just use my
So,
turn to stand up and that's it.
yep.
So I'm just gonna stand up then.
All right.
All right, it's Narek's turn.
No, Ravanna gets to go again, believe it or not.
I thought she already. Oh,
Because she casts slow, or
yeah, I thought she already got her second.
she gets. So she basically she gets one in between you and between the two of you, and she gets a one in between the two of you on the other side. So like in the turn order, it goes Ravenna, Lacour, then Ravenna again, and then Narek. then Ravana again, Lakor. So it's like basically it's like boom, boom, boom.
All right.
So yeah, I got her sheet updated. Let's see if this is going to work. Fucking A, Ray, it
Oh,
does.
fuck.
And she shoots at Derek. Or actually, no, she shoots at Lakor.
Uh-oh.
What's she do?
Well, yeah.
So now it is Derek's turn.
I'm gonna try this.
Uh-oh.
Boom.
Okay,
Damn it.
now does Ravana have to do a save for that, or yeah?
Okay, let me see what her AC is. Her AC is a 14, so you actually hit her with a canister.
Nice.
Um, so she goes down 4 hit points.
Yeah, and then everyone has to in the 10 feet has to make a 7 con save or take
Okay.
1d6 damage. It says here.
She makes the con save.
All right.
She definitely makes a con save, but I mean, you like I said, you pegged her with the canister. Took 4 damage. Does the con save? Is there anything else you're gonna do for your turn, Narek?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. So, let's see. 10-foot radius. So she's got to get out of this gas, which is roughly about this. Roughly about over there. She's gonna move out of this table. Move over to this table and try to. I mean, this Andorian is standing here just kind of watching everybody like fight right in the middle. She's gonna try to take a shot at Narek with disadvantage because she's now has a Andorian in the way.
Crit 1.
Oh,
Oh.
she got a 20. Fucking A. um, yeah, so yeah, you take 8. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah, so Narek is down to 9 hit points.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how to change that.
Change it down to 9 hit points. Just kind of keep track of it. Like, say, okay, now he's got 9. Put it on the side, or like write it on a piece of paper or something like that. All right, Liqueur, you're up.
What is my movement speed? 30? Because it doesn't say.
Yeah, you got 30.
So can I, like... Uh...
Grab a motherfucker and beat another motherfucker with it. Yeah.
Ah!
Well, this Andorian's in front of me. Can I, like...
Why don't you just push the Andorian in front?
That's what I'm saying. Can I shove the Andorian into Ravana?
Sure.
Strength check?
Yeah, just strength check that shit. It's an 11. I'll do a deck save.
Oh!
Yeah, she does. Dodged out of the way.
This Andorian is going to be my meat shield.
Yeah.
Like I said, his strength is ass, so this is going to be an entertaining fight.
All right.
Yeah, strength is not Narek's not Narek's strong point at this point.
Yeah, neither is this douchebag.
So you're saying we might need some backup is what you're saying on this one, huh?
I mean,
Oh,
obviously,
no,
we
I
know
mean,
how
Narek,
this fight ends.
We do know how this fight ends.
Right, because this is a flashback, folks. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
for it. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Balls
I figure
out.
we're
Just
gonna
go for it.
got balls out. Let's go for it. Just go crazy. You
Go
know how
yeah,
crazy.
well, I'm not gonna hit Ravana with a phaser rifle because that's set to kill, not stun.
Well, I mean, just shoot her anyway, because
I mean, yeah, we all know that she survives.
And this is like pre-augmentation too, remember?
yes, yes,
So even if she does quote unquote die,
they can bring her back with augmentation.
exactly.
All right, so who's up now?
It's actually Ravana's turn.
Yep, that's what I thought.
She is still shooting at disadvantage. 17. Does that hit Liqueur?
Yeah.
Okay,
So what, I lose 6?
so all of 6. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Narek, your turn.
All right, if you say that I can shoot her, I mean, how about, let's see. How about I move to about there?
Remember, your gas canister is there.
Oh, yeah, that would affect me too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we should have really put a marker or something where she was right about here, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me do a circle here.
Okay.
I got a square.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. I move over to somewhere that has a better shot at her.
Honestly, if I was you, I would move. I would move over here. Nathan Chen is prone. He's
He's
not
done.
standing.
He's
He's done.
dead.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
He dead,
So
Jim.
That's right.
and of course she's taller than the table, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lamb.
Mana is taking 9 damage on that one. Which is why I didn't really want to shoot her, but we have to render her unconscious somehow.
Yep. So
So that was
Vanna's turn.
24, isn't it?
Vanna's turn. She is going to once again shoot at Liqueur. He's just standing there taking this like a.
Nah.
He has decent AC too. Alright, 7. 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Okay, Liquor, your turn.
Can I pick up the Andorian and throw him at Ravana?
Why
Yeah,
don't you
you can
pick
do
up
it.
the Andorian by the antennas and try and swing them?
Or or even one of those chairs on one of the chairs from the table in front of you. You can use that. I'll give you 1d8 bludgeoning on it.
Alright, fine. I'm throwing a chair.
Oh,
I miss and hit the Andorian.
no, I think that would be a 1 if you.
Okay, you missed. You hit the Andorian. Go ahead and give me a d8 on that. um, yeah, he felt it.
He felt it.
Oh shit!
That's my Vulcan. I don't know you.
That's right.
Smashed the shit out of him with the chair.
Unga bunga, me Angie.
Shooting back at you with a phaser.
That misses.
That misses because he's laughing too fucking hard. She's laughing too fucking. What a bunch of tits.
All right, is it my turn now?
It is your turn. Oh fuck!
Double 20s.
Double
Okay, so
20s.
she's at 13, I think, right?
Yeah. So she's pretty messed up. She ain't down for the count, but she's pretty messed up. Um. Yeah, and she lost her slow abilities at this point in time.
Oh, good.
So
So it's just the three of us now, not three of us
she,
and extra
Two.
turns for her.
Right.
right. So now it's on on Liqueur's turn.
Can I pick up another chair?
Sure, go to town.
Go for it. Go for it.
If you're gonna throw it,
Yeah!
Finally, I hit something!
Yeah!
There you go.
Yeah!
You want another D8 bludgeoning?
no, I'm gonna try to do a dex, see if she can dodge it. She does not.
Now, do you want a D8?
The 8 bludgeoning, yes. I'm gonna take it, or
God
yeah.
damn it!
Oh! Well,
Um,
now only has 11 hit points, if I remember correctly, so.
she got a lot less than that.
Oh, are you working from pre
Pre
leveling up?
augment, pre leveling up augmentations. So she is,
Oh,
she's
yeah, she
pretty.
would
Can
be.
I knock her out with the chair?
She is laying prone. She is not knocked out, but she is laying prone.
Take that, bitch!
Um, I'm gonna attempt to try to get her to stand up again. See if she's gonna stand up. Um, she's standing up, but she's like very, very shaky on her feet. Um, collects
Now,
her phaser.
is Nathan Chen in pieces? Or,
Yes,
I mean, would it be. Okay, it's her turn again?
it was her turn.
Shooting
Um,
at me, I think? Or was
either
that.
she was probably shooting at Lakora again.
Oh,
That
good.
missed.
So she is seeing double.
Yeah, that missed.
That chair totally fucked her up. All right, there. Narek, it's your turn.
So could I walk over the dog
Yes.
parts?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. What's 30 feet? All right.
Uh,
Right, right where I want it to be. And then.
And then
Oh,
no.
I'll give you advantage on it, Matt. I'll give you advantage on
That's
it
fucking funny.
because you did. She is seeing double. So
Oh, because I hit her in the face with the fucking chair.
you describe how this goes down.
Oh, she's down. She's
um,
down.
You could take the butt of your phaser rifle and bash her in the face, or
yeah.
you
Okay. Let's do that before I think of something worse. Yeah.
could.
How about I hit her with something and she goes down and we capture her?
Well, like I said, you butt her in the face with your phaser rifle.
Pick up a
Take the butt
chair
of
and
your
smash her in the face with it.
Smash
and
her in
knock
the
her.
ear. Isn't one of her augmentations her ear? One of her ears?
One of her
I
ear.
mean,
No,
one of her future modifications is her ears? Or,
I it was like just basically all of her legs or her arms and her legs and stuff like
all
that.
right, because I was going to say hit her in the ear and that knocks her out, but hit her in the face and that knocks her out. We capture her and since this place doesn't have any good security in this part, nobody's coming after us at this point, right?
Right. Well, basically, you guys are security, so
Oh, true. Yeah, official New Vegas business. Go about your drinks.
yeah.
Go about your drinks. Nothing to see here.
All right. So yeah, you knock her out. She's down for the count. Um. So what do you guys want to do with her at this point in time?
She wanted to see Emily Scott.
Isn't this how Emily Scott found out about her?
Pretty much.
So we're taking
Let's
her
give
to
her what
Emily
she
Scott.
wants.
Yeah.
Let's give her what she wants.
Mm.
We'll give her to Emily Scott.
Ooh.
You guys
I
want
don't know.
Lake Liqueur, what the Andorian, you're like just gonna basically tell him to piss off. The one that
You
you
want me to
hit
tell him to
earlier.
piss off? Okay.
Piss off.
Thanks for letting us use you as a meat shield.
Yeah.
Punch
Piss
him
off.
again. Fuck you.
Along with Nyx. And the three of are like, yeah, you two drag her out of basically drag her out of the bar and head on over to your little henchman lair thing.
Hey, there's the banana hammock. Okay.
So you guys bring Ravana over here. Cyrano Jones is over there. He's chained up to the wall. There's a spot here for Ravana to be chained up. Lakor just kind of you know, looks over at Cyrano Jones and Bruce and like goes, just kind of like, could have used your help back there. That would have been nice, but It's like, don't worry, we got this one. And then, kind of Bruce is like, well, who the hell is she? And they're like, we're still trying to figure that one out. And he asks if sees if Emily has been come in yet. And he goes, no. And lo and behold, here she comes. And Emily Scott.
We finally get to see her and meet her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's in everybody's journal, so everybody can see her now. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Emily Scott, the she comes walking in, and right away you see hanging off of her hip, and you recognize it right away is the whip.
Dun dun dun.
She walks in and she walks over to this table. She sets the whip down. Ravana is still passed out at this point in time, but Cyrano Jones is still there. Is there, and he is like wide awake. And she looks over at, uh, comes walks in and it's like, Liquor, you made a huge ass mess in my bar down at the dog track. She goes, if you're going to snag somebody, please try to be a little bit discreet about it. People do not want to spend money if they think people are being forced or harassed or tormented or at any point in time may be snatched up by us and frisked. And he's like, well, yes, ma'am. And he's like, I totally understand, but this is what we're doing anyway. We did get you to your Cyrano Jones. And she's like, yes, I know, thank you. And she walks over to Cyrano, and it's like, she goes, you are the last holdout. Goes to Cyrano Jones. You are the last holdout thug that I have here that's been constant pain in my ass since I've taken over this place. It's like you're a turd that just won't flush.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
If I were you, ma'am, I'd get a plunger.
That was good, Matt. I like that.
But yeah, she goes, I finally were able to finish off this piece of business with you. Finally get, the one thing, scratched off that list. And at that point in time, Emily Scott looks over at Ravenna and sees Ravenna. And then looks over at Liqueur and goes, who the hell is her? Liqueur just basically goes, we don't know. Narek.
She wanted to see you, ma'am.
She wanted to see me, and you guys beat the living shit out of her so she can't actually see. So she goes over to Ravenna and like slaps her around a little bit, gets her to come to. And she's like, wake up. Who are you? Why are you here? She's like, and, what do you want with me? Ravanna just really doesn't answer any of her questions. Just kind of smartassy about it. Um, she nods at Narek. Narek kind of kicks Ravanna in the side. There's really no reply. And then Emily's like, well, let me check something out first. Basically, she kind of grabs the side of Ravenna's head and like pulls her up and like kind of holds her up and like really stares into her skull. And at this point in time, you hear Ravenna cry out in pain. And Emily Scott's like, "Ooh, yes, yes, there is." She's like, "I didn't realize." She's like, "Okay, you boys really did do good here." She goes, "You did bring me something worthwhile. You did salvage this day." She's like, "I'm going to forgive you guys for trashing my bar." And at that point in time, um, let's see. At that point in time, you see Emily. She starts basically pulling, does this gesture or move to where she like starts pulling all the stuff out of Ravenna. You can like see like stuff flowing through the space in between the two of them. And you hear Ravenna just crying out in pain. And not only that, you watch as her extremities start to shrivel up, like her hand is starting to like shrivel up and look like a raisin.
Mm,
Hmm.
that's cute.
Um, this continues for a few seconds, and then Emily Scott stops and she like looks at Ravanna and goes, "So now that I know that you've got powers," she goes, "Are you going to give me a name?" She's like, "I know you're a Romulan. I know you're a spy. What were you planning on doing here? Who were you looking for?" And Ravenna doesn't really reply. She's just kind of like trying to catch her breath. And once again, Emily Scott starts to do the weird pulling gesture. And once again, you see, a stream of material leave Ravenna heading towards Emily Scott. And there's once again a screaming. Ravenna is screaming in a whole bunch of pain. And once again, you watch as, like, Ravenna's hands slowly start turning to black and start falling off. To where that's all that's left is, like, the stubs on the end of her arms. And you see that, like, her arms are, like, all wrinkly and shriveled up.
Ugh.
Butter Dog has come
Butter
to
dog.
say hello.
Butter dog! Dog
Yay.
break!
Dog
Dog
break.
break.
Hi,
Yes.
puppy!
Hey, puppies. Hey, Luna.
You're such a cute
Butter
puppy.
Yes,
dog!
you are. You're precious.
back to tormenting Ravenna. After after this time where has Ravenna has now lost her hands. She's like, Ravenna's there in absolute horror. She turns to she tells Emily Scott, she's like, my name is Ravenna. I am, playing a guise of a prostitute because, for the Romulan Empire. I'm here to spy on you about, and Emily Scott's like, well, she's like trying to give, who's your handler, who's your contacts. And Ravenna's like, I don't know. And this continues on. Obviously, we know how far this goes on. This goes on long enough for Emily Scott to take Ravenna's legs and both her arms, or one arm. Like take both her legs, take her one arm, but and then also leaves her a hand. Has taken her hand. And Emily just kind of like, well, at this point in time, I am completely filled with nourishment, so I don't have to like take anything more from you. And she turns to Sarah Dow Jones. She's like, well, I really don't want to take anything from you. You're just, she goes,
Gross.
you're just gross. She turns to Liqueur and says, basically tells Liqueur to like kill them both, get rid of the bodies. And Emily Scott storms out. But more importantly, she storms out. As she like storms out, you notice that she leaves her whip. Narek goes to Liqueur and goes, do we actually have to kill her? He's like, I kind of like her.
Plot twist. I mean, I don't see why we have to.
If Ravana still had legs, uh, come on, computer. With a statement like that, if she still had legs, she'd be doing this. Oh God!
Now you can roll.
The
Now
one time,
Stumpy can roll.
Stumpy can roll. Stumpy can roll. I hate you.
I know. I know.
but okay, so what happens after they decide not to kill her?
Well, the Courier goes, realizes that Narek is kind of sweet on Ravana and goes, well, listen, if you want to put her in with your rest of your jar of flies, so be it. He's like, I don't think you're going to get very far. She isn't going to make much money on you, make much money for you as a prostitute in your brothel. And Narek's like, well, he goes, I'm not really interested in her making money for me.
It's going that route.
Oh, yes, he's going that route. He's just more or less, well, she is there for my entertainment and my entertainment only.
Oh God, this guy is definitely getting. All of these guys are getting knees to the
Testicles.
privates next time we meet.
Mhm. And as for, Cyrano Jones, he goes to, Lyric goes to, or Liqueur goes to, Bruce Hollenbeck and says, kill him, get rid of the body. And Lyric is like, I got other things to do. I gotta go clean up a bar. So Lyric storms out. So that just leaves Bruce Hollenbeck and Narek here to their own devices. Um, Narek and Bruce Hollenbeck are sitting there discussing things back and forth, and Narek's like, "Where do you know where I can get her augmented to? Do we know a doctor that we can augment these two with? Augment her with. Give her arms and her legs back." And Bruce Hollenbeck basically goes, "Yeah, I know somebody. We can go see this doctor. He could come back here and take and bring him. He could fix her up for us." And basically, they like leave to go get this doctor, leaving both Cyrano and Ravenna alone. Cyrano asks Ravenna if she is okay, and of course, her reply is, "What the fuck do you think?" I had like, she's like, "I'm like a quadruple amputee at this point." Um, he's like, if you know, we got to find, Cyrano's like, we got to find a way out of here or we're gonna die. And Ravenna's like, well, there's always a fate worse than death. And Cyrano's like, well, yeah, that's horrible. Um, it's like, you gotta, he goes, they said you're a spy. Do you have a lockpick or anything like that? How do you, get out of this and stuff like that? And she's like, I do. Ravenna does have a lockpick that was stuck in her hair. And she's like, I can't reach you, you know, or you're going to have to reach over and try to grab it. And she's like, hurry up, before they can come back. And Cyrano Jones reaches across and pulls out of her hair a lockpick. On the end of the lockpick uh is a key. One end is the lockpick stick. The other end there's like a loop, and then there's a key hanging on it. And he's like, "What's the key for?" And she goes, "That's my drop box. That's my bug out money." And
His
he's like,
eyes probably light up at that one.
he's like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yes."
How much do you got?
And he's
That's
like, "How
fair enough.
much?" Yeah, he basically asks her how much he's got, and it's basically, she says it's uh 3 bars of latinum, gold press latinum. And he undoes his handcuffs at this point in time, And he stands up and he rubs his wrists. And he's like, "Thanks for the gift." And he's about ready to walk out the door, and he goes, "Oh, one more thing." He goes, "I almost forgot something like she did." And he picks up the whip. And Cyrano Jones walks out, leaving Ravenna behind.